Hi everyone, we are going to talk about sensory and hidden impairments today. So to start off, we are going to talk about the circulatory impairments. The circulatory system is in charge of the blood flowing throughout our bodies. The nutrients are carried in the blood to different parts of the body to keep it healthy. Some of the most common circulatory impairments are coronary heart disease, hypertension, which is high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, and strokes. Common symptoms are chest discomfort, shortness of breath, edema, which is swelling, and it often occurs in the feet, ankles, abdomen. There's also dizziness, double vision, weakness, poor memory, anxiety, and there's often depression that comes with it. So for us as a therapeutic recreation, we want to help by restoring the functional capacity. We want to promote general health, monitor heart rate, oxygen levels, blood pressure, pain levels when we're working out with them. We want to help them with adaptive activities, so changing what they need, and we also want to help with their dietary habits. So the next one we're going to talk about is respiratory impairments. So to start, the respiratory system consists of a group of organs that allow our body to breathe. The main one being the lungs. The lungs allow for proper exchange of oxygen in and expelling of carbon dioxide out. Respiratory impairments prevent the lungs from receiving a sufficient amount of oxygen. These impairments consist of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, chronic bronchitis, asthma, hay fever, cystic fibrosis, and tuberculosis. A lot of the symptoms that come with these impairments are coughing, fever, shortness of breath, wheezing, change in the mucus color, unexplained weight fluctuation, anxiety, depression, and sleepiness. The next one, for therapeutic recreation, we want to optimize their functional capacity, encourage the increase of physical activity, adjusting what the clients can and can't do. We want to help with body alignment and posture, encourage them to drink a sufficient amount of warm fluids because that actually does help break down the mucus and it helps cough it up. We want to teach them to breathe through their nose rather than their mouth, breathe deep and slow during vigorous activities, maintain a proper fluid intake before, during, and after exercise. Pursed lips, which is breathing like we're blowing out a candle, and if they're going to be sweating a lot, we want them to take a salt tablet. So the next one is the endocrine impairments, and the endocrine system consists of the pituitary, thyroid, adrenal gland, which work together to secrete hormones. These hormones help regulate the growth and maintain our homeostasis in our body. Diabetes and obesity are the main types here. With those impairments, they typically have to monitor blood pressure and their diets. So we want to keep a focus on that. For TR, we want to help encourage and promote healthy lifestyles, help them to maintain and keep a healthy weight. We want to teach them and encourage them in their proper nutritional values, and we want to encourage physical activity. Physical activity will help them to keep down their weight and to stay healthy and fit, and to help ward off any other diseases that may happen for them. So our next group is cancer, and cancer is a group of diseases characterized by uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells that affect any body. It's also known as the second leading cause of death. It's caused by multiple mutations in genes that control cell division. So normal cell growth is divided in coordination. Cancer multiplies out of control, and it tends to be empowering growth controls. So overpowers our control system. Some risk factors of cancer, so those who are more risk to get it. It focuses on diet, physical activity, age, gender, hereditary, and air pollution. And a person diagnosed, it typically changes their entire life. They often feel depressed, denial, disbelief, anxious, and irritable. As a TR in cancer, we can help them by dealing with the physical and psychological needs. We want to help rehabilitate after surgery if needed. So if they lose a limb or something, We can help with coping mechanisms for the client and the family, encourage support groups, help when they're in the hospital to encourage walking or games to get their mind off of what they're going through, and help them prepare for end-of-life care if absolutely needed. So the next one is chronic pain, and pain is defined as an unpleasant sensory or emotional experience associated with actual or potential tissue damage, and it's described in terms of such damage. So it can affect any age group, but it's primarily elderly, and it leads to decreased movement and activity, poor sleep, weight gain, social isolation, and work issues. So as a TR, we want to help them, so it's unique to each person, but we want to help them to decrease their depression, anxiety, lessen their dependency on medications, provide pain management, prevent relapse, so going back into the undesired things. And we want to promote stress and time management. And we also want to encourage physical activity so they're not just sitting there. Chronic fatigue mimics symptoms of other diseases. So a mild person is mobile, carries out regular routine. A moderate is typically reduced mobility and limited ability to perform daily activities. A severe person uses a wheelchair and does little self-care. And the most severe person is bedridden and they're unable to care for themselves. So as a TR, we want to help them with symptom management and cognitive behavior strategies, exercise program, help them with alternative therapies and support. And we need to help with them with education, support, and health promotion. So we want them to know their symptoms, to know how to handle them, how they can change them if they need to, and things like that. So the next one we're going to talk about is sensory loss and communication impairments. People out with these often experience diminished ability and affected to a response to a stimulus. Often it varies with age. You can be born with it or you can get it through life. It's often accompanied with other impairments. Typically it often comes with like autism or sometimes it can even come with chronic pain. And typically it's mostly vision and hearing. So visual people so if they're blind, they often rock back and forth. They put their fists or fingers in their eyes and they lean forward. They walk leaning forward. And for hearing, they shuffling gait. They're restless. They usually have a head tilt and balance issues, and speech can also be an issue. So as a TR, we want to help them with their diminished abilities, so we can make an environment accessible to them, encourage participation in physical activities and sports, help them with their self-confidence, which sports helps with too, provide orientation and mobility training, provide sensory stimuluses to them, help encourage other types of communication, so like signing, and we want to help with their facial expressions and expressing their needs. Have a good day.